Welcome back to another episode of To Be Honest, presented by Respect the North. I'm one of your hosts, Shaki. I'm here with Natalie, and I'm also here with Chanel. How was your weekend?
Shaki's thinking about nakedness.
How was your weekend? How was your weekend? I was like, so how was your nigga?
Tell me about your weekend. What'd you do?
I went to the rec room.
What'd you do there?
Played games with my cousins.
For those that don't know about the rec room.
Oh yeah. It's like an adult
arcade
place. Yeah. So my cousin's birthday was on the 11th, so we went out to go eat and play games.
That's fun.
Yeah. What did you do?
Nothing too fun. I mean, I have like my best friend's daughter's birthday tonight. Mm-hmm. She's 2.
I was gonna ask how old she is.
It's a weekend full of birthdays.
What is it? A theme?
Not that I know of. Last year she had like one of those hungry caterpillar cakes. It was really cute.
Oh, I've never seen the hungry cat. I always see like Peppa Pig or Hot Wheels or all those. Yeah.
Well, she's 2, so I don't think she watches much TV yet, so she doesn't resonate with any. So the mom's pretty much in charge.
True.
Have you anything birthday related this weekend, Shaki?
I was just gonna go to what you were saying about the child not watching TV.
Oh yeah.
And I think that a lot of parents should try to, like, because I see nowadays that parents have no time to give their children attention that the children want from their parents, so they try to put technology in front of them, and that just starts rotting the children's mind from a very young age, which I don't appreciate. And hearing you say that she doesn't watch too much TV at 2 years old is not supposed to be a surprise, but it is a surprise because they get that shit from when they're like 8 months. I'm seeing babies with technology in front of them to keep them occupied while their parents are occupied themselves. But I really think that mothers and fathers should pay more attention to their kids, honestly, and instead of putting technology in front of them.
Do you ever think that possibly there's like a way of being like too intense of a parent? Like there are those who pay not too much attention, but they're like on their kids, and then there are people that are not so. Are you more so on the other side of like
like
extreme?
Too relaxed?
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with very strict parents, so I understand. Like, especially now that I'm older and I'm more wiser, I understand a lot of the things my parents have done. Even though some of the shit they did, I'm like, you could have chilled slow. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how they grew up, and I learned from them. Then I've obviously learned from other people and their experiences, and I noticed the difference. So I like, the crazy thing is, like, my dad told me when he was growing up, he didn't have no father when he was growing up, so he doesn't even know his pops. But he told me he was spoiled growing up from his grandmother and his mother. His mom would spoil him, and his grandmother was like his father figure because she would be the one to beat him and stuff like that, right? And he was telling me that because he was spoiled growing up, he said when he was to be a father, he would wanna be more strict to his kids.
So right? How are your parents, or how is your dad strict with you? In what way?
Well, wait, hold that thought. We kind of got to give our viewers like background why we're talking about this, right? So obviously, for those who are not aware, T.I. went on a podcast. I don't know the name of the podcast, but I know Miguel's wife is one of
Nazanin.
Yeah, one of the hosts. They now took down the episode, and T.I. mentioned that like he's pretty much an involved parent with his daughter, and that he even goes to the doctor with his 18-year-old daughter to make sure her hymen is in check.
Year.
So have you had the sex talk with your daughters?
Have I? We go.
Which, by the way, your daughters are so beautiful.
Thank
So beautiful.
So
Thank you so much.
I'm sure you have your hands full.
And like the other one's 18, so she definitely knows about sex.
See,
but
this
I'm
is
just
the
waiting.
thing.
It's Deja, right? She's 18,
yes,
right?
Deja's 18, just graduated high school now, and she's attending her first year of college, figuring it out for herself. And yes, not only have we had the conversation, we have yearly trips to the gynecologist to check her height.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with you right now.
So,
Do you go
birthday
with her?
party.
She's a prisoner.
Yes, I go with her.
Somebody check on
I
Deja.
go with her. And
If you guys don't know what a hymen is, every woman has it.
It's basically
It's
like
in
a
the-
mucus wall that. So there's like the normal walls, and then there's like, this is the hymen, right? Okay, this is the hymen, right? And when you're a teenager, if you lose your virginity early on, that can break your hymen.
Or if you play sports.
Or riding a bike. Some people are born with
horses.
very thin hymens or no hymens.
Yeah.
And so like it's kind of like an old world theory that like
Have you broken your hymen?
Huh?
oh Shaggy's broken.
Dudes have hymens?
No, it was a
I
joke.
thought we just had dicks.
It was a joke.
It's just an old world theory that like if the hymen is broken, you're no longer a virgin. You're no longer
but that's
pure.
It's just a theory. It's not.
Well, yeah, because it can break
not-
other ways
Exactly.
too, right?
Yeah. So that's pretty much the background of what led us to this conversation about.
But I think the thing that outraged a lot of people, and the response of the hosts on the show was like very inappropriate. They were just laughing along. Maybe they were
Sound like
uncomfortable.
nervous
They
laughter.
didn't point out like how weird and creepy it is, but she's now 18, so she's an adult. And he was saying about how every year after her birthday he books a gyno appointment for the doctor to check, and the daughter has to sign off for her dad to see the results. And people are saying now like maybe the daughter felt pressured because like obviously if she's still living with her family, you can't tell your dad no.
I don't think she's telling him no. I see that. I've saw that she's liked comments of people saying like your dad's crossing the line and all this
She
stuff.
also unfollowed her dad,
Oh.
which is interesting.
Yeah, that's big in this day and
Yeah.
age. Like, whoa, you know.
Maybe too many people were finding her through him, and
What
she
is
just didn't.
wrong with society?
Is it society or is it TI?
No. Society.
And elaborate. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not saying there's something
Yeah,
wrong with
what-
TI, but I
what-
need you to elaborate.
Yeah, I
don't
need to
know.
know what your point is.
The reason why I really said that is because of how you told me that her following her dad was a big thing. Like, what
That's
the fuck?
just
Yeah, but let's talk about the actual big thing.
it's
like,
not
That's-
not her
that's-
unfollowing him. It's the fact of the matter that when she was following him prior to that, when that got out and he became braggadocious about the fact that he checks her hymen and kind of made a mockery of her on it, like,
literally the
naturally.
entire world
Yeah.
is talking about her hymen.
Exactly,
Like
and
that's
she's
such
18.
an invasion.
So yeah, like that's why it's a big thing, because it's the domino effect.
Like, all of that makes sense, but then, yeah, I hear what you mean by that, but still, like,
I mean, I don't care,
just
but
that. I mean, that shouldn't be, the talk of the town. I'm guessing like what he did is embarrassing because now you're explaining to me. I'm like, all right, I understand it. Like, that's actually something like my pops would probably do. Like, I know that's something my mom does. Like, anytime anything goes on with me, like, I don't get how the whole family knows. Like, it just pisses me off. My mom would call anybody. You're like, you did something bad at school, the whole world has to know about it. I'm telling you, that's just
so
how
your
strict
parents are
parents
kind of
work.
like that too.
Yes, they are like that. That's how
my daddy ain't gonna check no hymen.
Yeah,
bro.
but
No,
okay,
my
but have your
parents
parents shared your sexual life
Yeah,
details?
yes, that's right. Fucking piss.
Because
Yeah.
that is a huge invasion.
Please,
It is an invasion,
elaborate.
but
if you want to share.
well, it's not.
You don't have
we
to,
need consent.
You don't have to speak about a specific
No, I'm not gonna
situation.
I'll speak about a specific
Okay.
situation. That's fine. It's more so because it's different when they see it.
Oh. Yes, I forgot your mom walked in on you.
Yeah. A few
If
times.
you haven't watched previous episodes, you'll get this. Or if you have.
Yeah. She's, but still, like, she wouldn't be just randomly just coming and trying to check up on me or trying to purposely, say something to somebody. Like, she's seeing it, and then, like, she see me with the girl, and then obviously she's gonna talk about it, You hear her call her one sister. I have 13 aunties.
Okay,
so that's
but
a lot of people
doesn't
going
this
through.
bother you when your whole family knows all this, like, extremely personal shit about you?
Yes, it cheeses me off because it's like, why does everybody else have to know? Like, this happened here.
Did you ever say anything to your parents?
Man, they don't
About-
care.
Maybe okay.
I try to tell them they don't care.
Okay, not to like say I'm siding with your mom, but I have a lot of siblings. I have the same amount of siblings as your mom does. I have a lot of sisters, and so we call up each other and we're on the phone and we're kiki
Gossiping.
and laugh. Okay, it's not gossip, it's kikiing, and we
What's the
laughing.
Nah, you're with my mom still, but
And we laugh, we joking and all that stuff, and I don't know. It's different when you do it with your siblings. It's kind of like, I don't know.
But here's the thing. That's the point. That's the whole family. That's the whole family.
So okay, you guys are kind of used to that kind of environment then, right?
I'm used to
Sadly.
in my family, like if say like my brother, one of my brothers, if he does something, you guarantee we all gonna know. We're all gonna know.
No.
But it's not, but we never tell his mom and we never tell our dad. We keep it with the siblings.
Yeah. Okay, so that's within the family, but
Yeah,
I guess the difference in that situation would be like, say if I don't know, something extremely personal happened to you, and I came on this show and I said it for the whole world to hear.
Oh no. We fight.
Like, you're talking about
Yeah.
your daughter's virginity. That's
no.
another level.
No, that's I saw something on Twitter as well. A woman said that a lot of guys sexualize girls at 18. They're like, oh, yo, she's a woman. Like
She's legal now.
Older guys that are 50 are dating 18-year-old women, and they say, oh yeah, she's ready, she's old enough. But now that T.I. is talking about his daughter's hymen, she's young. Why is he talking about it? It's like, well, which one is it? Like,
Yeah.
is it she's too young at 18 or she grown at 18? Because you guys pick and choose when she's grown, but it's still the same age.
And the hypocrisy of the whole
that's-
situation is
It's true.
T.I. has been with many, many, many women.
Yes.
Okay, and his son is 16, and he says it's perfectly fine for his son to be having sex.
That's the double standard.
That's
like,
ridiculous.
That's my
You know-
dad's like that.
You know
though.
what?
My dad's like that.
It's always. I can't say it's always gonna be like that for everybody, because I have a sister, and the way my dad dealt with, when it came to her sexual life, whatever, when it came to her relationships, the way he dealt with it with my sister was a little bit different. Every woman is different, and every woman goes through different things in her life. Not every woman goes through the same things. You can only just learn from what everybody else is telling you, or you learn from yourself, from the mistakes that you make, And like, I remember my dad telling me when he would have conversations with my sister, because they're really close. And he would tell me that when he first was talking to her about sex, I think she was probably like 16, 18. I think she was 18, and he took her to a bar and stuff, just to have,
yeah,
daughter,
one-on-one time. Yeah.
And he told her that, look, I know you're of age to know what sex is, and that's probably what you're going to be getting into now. And I want to tell you that I understand as a father, that's what you're going to be doing, and I know that's what you're going to be doing. So he's not denying the fact that, look, my daughter is going to be having sexual relations. He knows that.
Hang on, he made the assumption that at 18 she hadn't done anything yet? He made the assumption that at 18 she hadn't done anything yet?
No.
I think it was
He
just
didn't make
more
an
so
assumption.
like, let's have this birds and bees conversation, because I can't say you aren't doing it and I can't say you're not, but you're eventually going to do it, so let me have that. I rate that, because that doesn't really happen in the black family.
No, because
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't. But remember, I told you my dad he's different.
Yeah,
man.
because he
wanted
had his
to
own
teach us-
experiences.
He had his
yeah.
own experience in life, so he understands. And trust me, that guy is a player. So yeah,
I didn't mean like that. I meant like you said, he didn't have his father, so he's trying
yes,
to
I was
be a
talking
better.
about that, but then I also related to him and his sexual experiences and how he learned from those.
Yeah,
as well.
okay,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
also talking about that.
Have you guys ever heard the expression of like, if someone's having a baby girl, they're like, oh, you better get your shotgun? And like how recently Irv Gotti actually came out in the news after the whole T.I. thing, and he was saying, I'm not gonna say if T.I. is right or wrong for his parenting methods. He's a parent, he'll do what he feels is right. And then he joked about how one time his daughter's boyfriend came over and he brought the gun out when he was having a conversation with him. And I just think that, like, oh my god, like not even joking about it, like there was an actual
I would
physical
do that.
gun.
How old is his daughter?
I don't know.
Is she like 18 as well? Do you know if
I'm
she's
not
16?
sure.
Okay.
I don't think they
Because
said.
Irv Gotti, I love Irv Gotti. Like, I love Irv Gotti, but like the man was just literally a couple of years ago was dating this girl that was like 19 years old. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, these guys are ridiculous. I love Irv, but like,
Honestly,
these guys are ridiculous,
They're
man.
trying to control women,
I don't
basically.
hear these things, and when I'm hearing it now, it actually kind of get disgusting.
Yeah,
a
he
little
was
bit.
in love with
Because
this girl.
Honestly, men are biased like that a lot, and now that I'm hearing it in the situations, like, you can't do that. You can't contradict yourself like that. You can't be dealing with a 19-year-old and you're bringing out a shotgun on a man for your daughter. That same 19-year-old girl could be your daughter too, and why don't you feel the same
exactly.
for her? Don't, despite if you're a grown man or not, because sometimes men will think that, hey, because I'm a grown man, I understand what's going on, I have my experience, my wisdom. A young man doesn't. That also would be the reason why he's judging the situation differently with his daughter. Because at the end of the day, when men are younger, are much wilder. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what men want. Like, men know what men want. Men know how men think. So it's obviously going to always be different when it comes to men being involved with the women as well.
Yeah.
If it's the woman itself and the men, it's different. But when there's a man and woman involved, that's when men are going to, and especially fathers, they're going to move different towards the women and the men in the relationship.
It's a
I don't know,
contradiction.
for
It's a
myself,
contradiction, yes, but it's purposeful at times. Not
for
all the time.
myself, I don't like. I'm the 7th child, like out of the 13, right? So I have a sister, and then I have 2 sisters, and then 2 brothers, and then the rest are sisters. So I didn't have to go through all the bullshit my sisters had to go through, because and my brothers did a lot of crap, so I didn't really experience the extreme parenting, only like here and there, but I saw it. So it's like by the time he got to me, he's number 7, he's tired, he's old. And even now with my younger sister, like, he's tired, he's old, he really is not trying to implement all of that. We just tell my little sister, she's 10, like, yo, don't do this because daddy did all this to us, like, you know what I mean? Like, because we're tired too. She's more scared of us than she is of my dad, right? So I never really experienced that. I did more so with my mom, because she only has 2 kids, so it's like, and I'm the youngest, so it's like, I'm gonna bust your ass. So
Is it weird that my mom was like the more stricter person?
No, mine
that's
is
what I'm
too.
saying. My mom is the most
My
stricter
dad
one
is
for me.
strict. Like, he's very strict, but like, he's a quiet strict. Like, he doesn't say nothing.
He
Like,
just takes out the belt.
No. My mother is the beat. Like, man. I remember my freaking teacher. He's a freaking bastard for this, but I rate him at the same time.
The statute of limitations up. I know we're in Canada.
No. I'm being regular.
For the
Growing up-
beatings. That's what I mean.
No, I'm doing this thing. Growing up, when I would used to take tests, and I would fail my test, my teacher would call my mom, telling her I failed the test.
He knew what he was doing.
He would make it such a big deal because he had that type of voice that made him sound so serious, like, fuck, like, this guy's fucking up. You know what I mean? And every single night after I would fail a test, my mom would beat my ass.
Like,
So
yeah.
every time he called my mom, I knew, I'm like, fuck.
He
this
saw a
guy-
light in you, though. Maybe he just wanted to push
maybe.
you.
Inspire you.
You have to understand, I'm a straight up guy. I was telling my teacher at 10 years, I'm like, sir, you know I'm getting the wooden spoon if you call her. You know this. I'm telling you this is what's gonna happen.
And he's
They
saying
would've called
that
child
wooden
service
No,
on your
you think he called child
mama.
services? You think
that
he
wooden
called child
spoon is
services?
gonna make you study.
Oh my god.
Nah,
I just want to point out one thing. Just to throw it all back to the whole TI situation. And I was thinking about this while we were having the conversation. If his son is 16 and his son is having sex already, who's he having sex with? Because if it's somebody under 18, then that's essentially a female under 18, like his daughter was, who shouldn't be having sex yet. And if it's someone over 18, then that person would be going to jail because that's illegal.
But and all of
Wait,
that
what
is
state is what state
How
does he
like
live
wait,
in?
Atlanta.
Oh no, it's just legal.
I don't
down
get it.
there.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's legal down
I
there.
don't get it.
16.
While you guys are here, don't forget to follow us
And like us.
and like us
And comment and
I'm just trying to
subscribe.
plug in between. Don't forget that. But yes, back to the conversation. Yeah, no, that's actually a good point. I feel like a lot of men are like that. Like my dad, I have a brother who's 16 now. We're turning 16 next year. And my dad would just be like, yeah, man, Michael. Yeah, man, go talk to that girl. But it's like, for us, like when we were younger,
Because that's somebody's young
don't
girl
look at my
too.
daughters. Don't, like, it'd be all like 6 of us. Don't look at my daughters. You could never touch my daughters. I'll kill you for my daughter. Even my mom, the other day, we were in Jamaica. And this older guy, a neighbor of ours, is looking at me. And he's like, oh, me, I wait for Chanel to come on the dance floor. And my mom goes, yeah, I would kill you. And she just paused and the whole room just stopped. And then everyone like, she's like, I'm serious. I would kill you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, with what though?
The wooden
but
spoon.
like, yeah, like I don't know. My
that
dad
shit
is always
dangerous.
more so, yeah, man, like for his sons, like
Yeah,
you know?
but his sons are picking up other men's daughters who are probably prized possessions to their fathers too.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy?
Exactly.
What you're feeling from your dad, I was feeling from my mom.
Yeah,
My
'cause you're a
mom-
baby.
Nah, man.
Mom is gonna be like that for her
No,
boys.
but,
I
like,
would think so.
You know, I don't know, because sometimes I think, like, it should just be like, you know, like, they're boys, that's it. But no, my mom, she didn't want us having sex. She didn't want us having no sexual relations. She didn't even want to see condoms in the house.
I like that though, because when I was younger, I had a boyfriend. He's the only child, and his mom was like, "Oh, you and that was my next door neighbor, and she was just like, oh, you know, you and Chanel have been dating for 4 years. You know, maybe you should go see somebody else because you know you guys are young, so you should have children from all different type of race, kids from all different types of races."
Whoa.
And I'm not gonna say what happened to him.
She tried to set him
But
up.
that's what he
He didn't end up having lots of kids. He ended up having a child who he loves his child a lot, but like prior to having the child, like he went through some unfortunate stuff, and I was just like, in my head, I'm like, you see, when you let your parents dictate and determine your life, like if you knew you wanted to be here, you should have stayed here. Now you're gone and you're down, mess up your life, and now you're trying to get your life back together again. You know what I mean? So
You can't listen to parents
all the time. I always
know
used
what's good for
to.
you.
I used to tell my mom when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, I'm like, "You were already 16. Like, don't try to control my life." And then box like in the face. But it's like, it's the truth though. It's like you had your opportunity to live your life at 16. You can't. I know you're trying to protect me, but you can't try and.
But
guide
she probably
me.
also had overbearing parents that were.
Grandparents, yeah, her dad, yeah, and
think
her
parents are
her
always gonna do
grandparents
that.
were, yeah.
I think parents are always gonna do that still. Like they're
Watch.
always. I mean, like my parents still do that now. They still try to control what I do now. Like I would come home from work, like 30 minutes later than I usually do, and
What
I
were you
come
doing,
in.
Shaki? Go on, go on.
Oh, is that what they're asking?
Yeah,
That's what they're asking.
Where were you,
me.
Shaki?
Like,
No, like literally, no. My dad would be like, I'll come downstairs. My dad would be like, why you coming home late from work?
Exactly.
Like, my
do the
nigga, I'm not
voice.
in school anymore. Like, what is this?
my nigga.
I'm
Yo,
like,
fam, listen here.
I told my dad, I'm like, I'm not in school. Why you asking me why I'm coming home late?
What if you worked
Like, I just came from
overtime?
work. Huh?
Say I worked overtime.
Nah, he knows what time I come home. Like he knows what
My
time.
mom
It's
will
just my
do that
parents. That's the
too.
thing. My parents, that's what I'm showing you. They're always gonna be like that. They're watching me, making sure that I'm good all the time. Like they're always making sure I'm good, always watching me.
That's good.
Always.
That's
though.
my mom. She's always saying, "Oh, I pray for you. I pray for my sons every night. I make sure you." She low-key kills me with it. Like,
You can't laugh in her face though. You can't laugh in her face.
I caught it nice.
Well, Well, Shaki's out at the club. His mom is praying for
She's like,
him.
I'm serious.
Do you know
my
what's-
heart racing? I can't sleep at 5 a.m. I'm wondering where my son. I swear she has some superpowers with us. Like I swear to God, she knows when we're not there. She knows it's crazy. She knows when we're coming.
Shaki, yo, it's only funny because I know those ones. Like, it's so
No,
funny.
but I'm feeling that because of how you're relating, how your parents are. I'm like, wow. My
Yeah.
parents are like, basically the same.
I feel like a lot of West Indian parents are like that. I
Nah,
don't know.
Caribbean parents.
My mom more so will call me even now. Like, she will call me and be like, Chanel, I'm going to bed now. And I'm like,
Okay.
because I'm not home. So
Oh.
she's, even though she doesn't want to ask and say, she knows because I'm an adult, I'm grown. She doesn't want to ask me, where are you? So she'll tell me what she's doing to find out
She
what
wants
I'm doing.
reciprocation
I feel like
of
that's what my mom is
information.
gonna do.
Yeah, so she's like, it would be like, say it's like 2, but like I'm somewhere else. So she's just like, Chanel, I'm going to bed now. I'm like, okay. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for waiting up for me,
You know?
Mom.
Yeah, like and she'll be halfway in her sleep, but she'll wake up out of the sleep like, okay, I just still don't hear her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm like, you're not gonna get the information.
No, honestly, I think my mom is gonna start doing that.
I was like, I'm going to bed too, just not at home.
Oh my God, Natalie.
Actually, I think my mom did do something like that.
To my man's house. Nowhere else.
Wait, what?
Just clarify that.
What?
Yeah,
I was talking
obviously,
about
that's
talking
what I
to Natalie.
mean.
I had to clarify that. I don't know,
Clarify
but-
what though?
Anyways.
Breaking the hymen.
So yeah, how do you think your parenting styles will be? Like, will you beat your kids? Like, will you?
Definitely. No, like, you know, that's what I was
You think
trying
it's gonna work though? In that?
No, but that's the thing. Remember I told you about how my dad said because he was spoiled, he was gonna be strict, and I remember telling him that, you know what? I guess it's just gonna continue like that. Now I'm gonna spoil my children
and then
now,
they're gonna be strict.
and then they're gonna be strict to their kids.
Okay, yeah.
That's not how it's going to be with me, though.
Are you gonna be
Like-
the disciplinarian?
Probably.
Would you say between you and your partner, who would be the one?
I would be the disciplinarian. We've already had conversations about how my kids are not having sex, like, until they're at
Ready to.
least 7. No. I mean, I'm going to say, like, I'm going to hope that they wait until out of high school, just because there's a lot of legalities with, like, over 18, under 18, that kind of stuff.
You're right.
But, like, I also, like, I don't think I'm going to be playing into that double standard of, oh, my boy can, but my girl can't. Like, I just think that's ridiculous. And
No, you're right about it.
I might
Yeah.
occasionally whip out the firm, like, I don't think I'm going to use accessories like wooden spoons and belts, but I'll slap my child if they're acting out of order.
Yeah, I'm definitely beating
No,
my
give them a
kids'
spoon.
ass.
They'll know now that when every time you're cooking, that could be part of their skin. Just
What about when I'm not
eating part of-
cooking?
No, I'm
Eating
saying when they
part of
see
their
when you
skin.
beat them with them, like when you beat them with the spoon, and they start seeing you cooking with that same spoon you beat them with, they're gonna have more respect for you. That's all
I
I'm
don't
saying. They're gonna have
know.
more respect.
I
They
think-
will.
I don't know if it's respect. I think it's actually fear. But I would
No,
definitely.
no.
I definitely. It's
There's
a
difference-
combination.
look,
There's a
There's
combination.
a reason why there's such thing as discipline. It's not to put fear
It's
into
not
your children.
to put, but when you beat your kids, you make them scared of you. I'm
Of
Yeah,
course,
you
no,
instill
but-
fear.
It's fear. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's fear, but I don't want people to make it seem like
That's not the goal, though. Okay, so I'm
how do you
definitely
just-
gonna. No, I'm answering the initial question. I'm definitely gonna beat my kids' asses when they as they grow, because I definitely got beatings. As when I was a kid,
You feel like they were effective? They taught you a lesson?
it did. Yeah, it did. I think so. I mean, I'm not gonna do it like as the first initial reaction. Like, I'm going to use my words. But like, if you're really not listening, like, somebody's gonna get hurt real bad.
Okay, Russell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
I don't know who,
But somebody
but you know it very well.
what was their worst ass whooping?
that I can remember. I don't want to put my mom in jail.
Wow. So it was your mama that did this to you. Now we know it's your mama. You
It
ain't
was
done
my
said
mom.
who.
Now I'm gonna put my mom in jail. I think it was one day. It was Victoria's Day, and like in the hood, you go out and you shoot fireworks at each other. Like, that's the thing. We
Oh, the
In
Roman
the hood.
candles?
no, we actually take the fireworks and we light them up.
I
And we
almost got
shoot
shot in
them
my
at
face
each
Yeah,
because
other.
like
of
the
that.
Roman candles, right? The ones that... Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
Roman
ones
candles
that
shoot.
the regular ones you can buy.
Oh, no. I thought you were talking. There's a candle that kind of shoots sparks, but I don't know if it's like
I don't know.
that.
It was
Not-
just
it's
the
not like
regular
that.
ones that we just used to shoot at each other. So my mom told me to stay home or just stay around, but she didn't know that's what we used to do, right? She always heard the sparks going off, but she didn't know. So my sister's like, okay, I'm not coming with you. I'm going here. Meet me back here at the building at this time. I said, okay. I journeyed off into the neighborhood where I shouldn't have been, and like somebody almost burned off my hair because they were so close with the firework. Anyways, the time passed. I'm like, shit, I should be home. My mom is at the other end of the hall waiting. The door's open, looking at me. I'm like, nah, I ain't going in there, yo. She's like, come here. So I'm like, I'm walking down the hall. I'm like, yo, Chantal, you're such a snitch, yo. She's like, yo, I try to help you out, yo. That's how we talk to each other. And so then after I go in, she's like, come here. She just dragged me all the way to my room. And then after she threw me on the bed, and I'm like, no, she starts hitting me. I'm like, no. She's like, what were you doing? I'm like, nothing. I was at Zanana's house. And she's like, no, you weren't. I went to talk to Zanana's mom. You weren't there. I'm like, I was playing with fire. Why are you playing with fire? Why are you playing with fire? So then after, I have asthma. Back then it was bad, but I was like, okay, if I fake an asthma attack, she won't beat me. So I'm like, so I start crying and go, I went like this, and I'm on the bed, and it was like a twin bed. So then I purposely fall off the bed. I'm like, and then she's like, stop fucking lying to me. She sits
You
on
got
my
more
chest.
beats for that.
No, she sits on my chest like this while I'm on the floor. Stop fucking lying. You don't have asthma anymore. And I'm like,
When she was sitting on your chest, was she facing? Was she
no,
like?
she's
was
not
she
up
towards
here,
your
but
face?
she's here.
But was she facing?
She's looking
the front?
at me.
Oh, okay.
So she's like this now, like,
Damn, that's
and I'm
like hitting your chest.
Yes.
fucked up, man. You got fucked up.
Yo, and then she's like, "Stop faking it! You don't have asthma." So it's every syllable.
She
with black
beat
people.
the
I teach
asthma
you
out of you.
Every syllable.
Wow.
And I would never forget that day for
Damn.
the rest of my life. It was grade 7.
That's a
Yeah.
good beating, still.
You're oldish
And
too.
that was the year I got into accident. So this was before I had to learn how to walk again. So like a couple months later, I got in an accident and I had to learn how to walk again. So she sympathized and she stopped beating me like that. And yeah,
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Chanel's mom.
what was the worst? You guys' worst ass whooping? If you guys have a bad one.
I do.
Or worse, like disciplinary action from your parents.
You wanna go first? Or?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was mostly the disciplinarian. There were a couple times where she slapped me in the face. There was a couple times where she would. It doesn't compare. She would raise like the stern hand and like start counting, and like I always caved because I didn't want to get slapped.
You were good.
I always caved. And this sounds super, super weak, but there was one time, I don't remember what I did, but my parents were so pissed, and I would go hide in my room. And so what they decided to do was take my bedroom door off of the hinges.
Oh.
So I had no privacy at all. And like I usually like close my bedroom door when I go to sleep to like feel safe. And it was just fucking awkward. They could always see me. They could always see what I was doing. Like, it wasn't like a violent punishment,
but that's like
but
a
it
violation
worked.
of privacy. Yeah.
No,
It really
that's-
worked.
And you were a teenager? Were you like preteen?
No, I was definitely in high school.
Oh, that's even worse.
No, that is worse.
That's even as
That
a
is
teenager to like get your privacy taken away from you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it feels like torture.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had no privacy still.
Shaki doesn't have a bedroom door.
Well, how do you think I got booked?
Again, this.
She just could walk in. She
There's
walks
so
in
I
every
feel like
morning.
there's so many stories of like the
Me?
worst. Yeah.
For the rest
You
of
know what, though?
Everything? Yeah,
No,
my life
yeah.
is just fucking horrible.
No.
Thanks for making me feel so good about myself.
No, I said what was the worst like ass whooping? So I feel like there's so many stories for you.
No, there's bare ass whoopings. I'm just trying to remember exactly how this one in particular went because it started off with one parent and went to the other.
Oh, that's the
See?
worst.
So
the
my mom,
tag team.
Yeah, the transfer
Like-
of energy.
No, this is what was happening because I remember like we had like my basement messy and we kept it like that for a little bit. Like I remember we had like juice spilled on the floor that was still on the floor. We had all this bullshit and she knew it was like the kids. It was all of us, all my siblings, but it's really me and my little bro who was causing all the mess and like we never cleaned it and it was there for like weeks. My mom was telling me and
Sticky with bugs.
yeah, all that shit. I don't know if
That's
that's
why you got
exactly
your
what it
ass
was.
beat.
I don't know if that's exactly what it was. It was a whole bunch of other stuff about not listening to her because we were just being disrespectful.
Wilding out.
We were wilding. We were wilding out, man. Shit. I thought I was the shit. And my mom would show me I wasn't shit. But and she decided to come and beat us. So she beat me and my bro, and we were like, that's soft. Like, you're good.
That's the worst.
Blessed.
You're gonna get more for
And she's
that.
like, what? So she kept beating us more. We're like, nah, you're good. You're chill. That's blessed. And then she's like, okay, good. Okay, I'm gonna call your father. Watch your father gonna deal with you.
When they say I'm gonna call your
You
father,
did it to yourself.
You're lucky your dad lived with
We
you.
were chilling.
I
were
had to
chilling.
wait a week for that beat.
A week?
Because my dad never lived with me. So she's like, I'm gonna call your father. A week later, you think it's over.
You never know when it's coming.
See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It was like that.
Oh, shit. You never knew when your dad was gonna beat you.
We did not know because she already beat us, and I'm just like, that's soft. We're chilling upstairs in the living room. Dad comes home, and I didn't even know how it started. Like, out of nowhere, I just heard my brother getting beats. I was like, whoa.
Yo,
I
I'm
was
next.
Like, oh, fuck.
I'm next.
I'm like, I was next. The nigga
Hide.
came down. I tried to cut. The man grabbed me, opened my basement door, and he dashed me down my basement stairs. He
Yo,
literally.
you could have broken your neck for that.
Thank the Lord. I know.
Wait,
Thank
head,
the
head
Lord.
First? Head first or legs first?
Yo, be careful what you say.
Okay.
The limitations
So
ain't
however
up.
I felt like this. I was straight. I wasn't this. I was just straight like this. I felt straight. So I was good.
Okay, you're good.
So I
Just
felt
your
like I
ribs were
busted-
broken.
No, if you seen how I fell down
I'm
those
joking,
stairs,
I'm
I was not
joking.
good. And he freaking dashed me down the stairs. Dashed me, I'm going boo-doo-doo, and he's coming down the stairs. Like that.
Like this.
He's coming down the stairs like this. Boxes me. It's like I literally just. I swear it was like a movie. Like I'm now recovering from getting up from the stairs.
Jackie.
As soon as he gets down, I'm coming up. The man comes with the ball, boxing me across the floor.
Yo, you're gonna break a chair.
He boxing me across. Like I literally got beat from one side of my basement to the other. Like he beat me into a corner.
It was
and I
a-
was just like, I was just there, boom, just taking it.
It's like a wrestling ring.
And like he just cut and left me in the basement, just black and dark. I was just like, fuck.
K.O. Bang, bang.
Finish him.
Yes, his dad came down the stairs like, finish it.
Literally, that was it.
Oh my god.
I was like,
Your mom was Frost. Mortal
She was the
Kombat
star. She was the
reference.
star.
90s children.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my worst.
And then your
beats.
dad was Scorpion.
It didn't hurt that much though. It didn't hurt that
Yeah.
much. I think it was all the adrenaline. And why it didn't hurt? Like he threw me down the basement stairs. Like my adrenaline shot up. Like I was like,
yeah.
shit. Big trying to catch myself, even though I didn't. But I was good. I was good.
How old were you?
Yeah.
Maybe like 12.
Yeah.
Maybe younger than that. That sounds about the
Say
Nah,
12.
I was
12
not.
sounds okay. It sounds
I
like
was a
reasonable
little bit younger
beating
than
for
that,
12.
I think I was younger than that. Not because I was big enough to handle it. Like you know what I'm saying.
Yo, that is funny. I think Shaki wins.
Yeah,
with
for
his story.
sure.
Yeah, his story.
For the worst beating.
Yeah.
Your dad threw you down the stairs and then followed you.
Yeah, wait,
I thought
that's
that was
so
done.
funny.
I thought
When
he
you
was just done with throwing me
when you
down
do
there.
a breakdown of the beating, your dad threw you down the stairs and then came after you, like
Yeah.
you threw
No,
yourself
like,
down.
as I was falling, he
Where's
was
he
going
going?
down. As I was falling, he's going down the stairs with me. It was a movie. I'm telling you, I should do a movie on it.
You really should. You should write some
Nah,
scripts.
look,
for
when I
it.
do a movie on my life, it's gonna probably be the greatest movie in history.
I'm definitely
Okay.
gonna do a movie on my family and all the
Being
ass
as is.
whoopings. But yeah,
I'm
I'm
being in
gonna
it
beat
too.
my kids.
Are you ever gonna bring them to the gynecologist and check their hymens?
No,
Yes.
no,
I might.
Chucky,
no.
are you for real?
Why are you invading an
Are you
18-year-old girl?
serious?
18? Well, who said I'm gonna do till 18?
What if
Oh,
she's not
okay.
18? What if
Sorry.
she's 16?
16?
That's
No.
Still creepy
I
and
want to do it
wrong.
at the age of when sex is consensual.
Yo, do you know? Okay, fun fact. I did a little bit of research about this. Another way you can lose your virginity is by using a tampon. So imagine you're on your period,
hear
right?
about that
And you
still.
choose to use a tampon.
Maybe that's why mom didn't
So,
want
like-
me to use tampons when I was
Yes, no, but I've
Now
heard
she's like,
girls-
no
I've heard
tampons.
girls say that's
She's
happened
like,
to
it
them.
has cancer. I'm like, everything has cancer.
Your mom is
Everything does,
hilarious.
everything does. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode.
Don't forget
He's
to like
avoiding
us.
Comment, subscribe,
Share, motherfucker.
watch
Follow
her.
us on Instagram at To Be Honest. Follow us on SoundCloud at To Be Honest. And what else do we have? Twitter? YouTube.
YouTube.
To Be Honest.
Yes.
For the
And
full
all our
episode.
personals
And
as
don't
well.
forget to put a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button.
And like, comment, share, subscribe.
Send some love.
Peace. See y'all next week.